The vastness of space had never bothered Captain Kira Winters. If anything, the endless expanse of stars had always felt more like home than any planet ever could. She sat in the command chair of the Ecosphere, humanity's most advanced starship, watching the dance of quantum particles across her holographic displays. The ship itself was less a conventional vessel and more a testament to humanity's refusal to accept the impossible. Status report, Arya. Kira called out to the ship's quantum AI, her fingers tracing patterns through the holographic readouts that surrounded her command station. All systems nominal, Captain. Arya's voice resonated through the bridge, carrying the peculiar harmonic quality of quantum computing. Though I'm detecting some unusual fluctuations in the background radiation of Sector 7. Kira leaned forward, her steel-gray eyes narrowing at the data stream. The Ecosphere wasn't just any patrol vessel. It was humanity's first successful experiment in quantum architecture, a ship that could bend the very fabric of reality. Most of the scientific community had called it impossible. Kira called it Tuesday. "Show me the anomaly pattern," she commanded, and the holographic display shifted, revealing a cascade of energy signatures that made her breath catch. Arya, initialize quantum scanning array. Full spectrum. The ship's sensors, capable of detecting disturbances across multiple dimensional planes, came alive. What they revealed turned Kira's blood to ice. A massive fleet of ships emerging from what appeared to be fold space, their hulls gleaming with an otherworldly iridescence. Classification? Kira asked, though she already knew the answer. Nothing in Earth's database matched these signatures. Unknown, Captain. Configuration suggests artificial construction. Energy readings indicate technological advancement significantly beyond current human capabilities. I count 317 distinct vessels. Kira allowed herself a small smile. Well, Arya, looks like we're about to make first contact. And they brought friends. The alien fleet arranged itself in an attack formation that would have made Earth's finest admirals weep with envy. Their ships moved with impossible precision, each vessel locked in perfect synchronization with its neighbors. At their center, a massive vessel easily dwarfed Earth's largest space station. Captain, Arya's voice carried a note of concern. They're broadcasting on all frequencies. Translation matrix engaging. The bridge filled with a voice that seemed to bypass their communication systems entirely, resonating directly through the quantum field. Attention, human vessel. This is High Commander Nexus of the Void Confederation. Your species has been deemed too dangerous to be allowed continued existence. Your quantum experiments threaten the very fabric of reality. Surrender now, and we will ensure your species' extinction is painless. Kira leaned back in her chair, considering the ultimatum. Humanity had always known their experiments with quantum technology might attract attention. They just hoped it would be friendlier. Arya, what are our odds? Against 317 advanced alien vessels? Conventional combat mathematics suggests our survival probability is approximately 0.000001%. And unconventional mathematics? With our quantum systems? Unknown. There are too many variables to calculate. Though I should note that your particular tendency to defy statistical probability is not currently factored into my calculations. Kira's smile widened. Open a channel, Arya. Let's introduce ourselves properly. The quantum comm system engaged, and Kira straightened in her chair. High Commander Nexus, this is Captain Kira Winters of the Earthship Ecosphere. I've received your surrender demand and have a counter-proposal. She paused for effect. Leave now, and I won't have to demonstrate why humanity's quantum experiments have made us dangerous enough to warrant your attention. The response was immediate, a surge of energy signatures as the alien fleet powered up their weapons. Kira watched the displays with the calm of someone who had long since accepted that impossible odds were just a matter of perspective. They're charging weapons, Captain, Arya reported. Energy signatures suggest destructive capability beyond anything in our database. Perfect, Kira replied, her fingers dancing across the quantum interface. Arya, initiate Echo Protocol. Let's show them why picking a fight with humanity was their second mistake today. And their first mistake? Arya asked as the ship's quantum core began to pulse with possibilities. Kira's eyes gleamed with the light of 1,000 quantum calculations. Thinking numbers matter when reality itself is negotiable. Begin the dance, Arya. Let's rewrite their understanding of what's possible. The ecosphere's quantum core hummed to life, and reality itself held its breath, waiting to see what impossibilities humanity would unleash upon those who threatened their existence. The real battle was about to begin, and Kira Winters was ready to show the universe why humanity's greatest weapon had always been their refusal to accept limitations. The void between stars erupted in a symphony of light as 300 alien vessels opened fire simultaneously. Their weapons, designed to shred capital ships into cosmic dust, converged on a single point in space, where the ecosphere had been microseconds ago. Quantum shift complete, Arya announced as reality flickered around them. We currently exist in a superposition of 7 probable locations. Kira's fingers danced across the quantum interface, each movement precisely calculated. Let's show them why quantum physics should never be used as a weapon. She grinned. Unless you're human, of course. The ecosphere didn't just move through space. It rewrote the rules of movement itself. As the alien fleet's sensors struggled to track their position, Kira activated what the development team had nicknamed the Schrodinger's Waltz protocol. Multiple target solutions available, Arya reported, her quantum processors calculating possibilities faster than reality could manifest them. The enemy fleet's formation suggests they've never encountered quantum warfare capabilities. Their mistake, Kira replied, engaging the ship's primary quantum lance. Execute pattern Echo 7. Let's introduce them to probability manipulation. The ecosphere split into what appeared to be 12 identical vessels, each one both real and unreal simultaneously. The alien fleet's targeting systems, designed to track objects that followed the conventional laws of physics, began reporting impossible readings. High Commander Nexus's voice boomed across the quantum frequencies, now tinged with something approaching concern. What manner of devilry is this? No single vessel can exist in multiple states. That's your second problem, Commander, Kira broadcast back, her voice cheerful as the ecosphere phased through what should have been an impenetrable wall of energy fields. You keep thinking about what ships can't do. We humans prefer to focus on making them do it anyway. To demonstrate her point, Kira activated the ship's quantum probability drive at full power. The ecosphere's weight created ripples in reality itself, causing nearby alien vessels to register phantom sensor contacts in impossible configurations. Warning, Arya announced, enemy fleet attempting to adapt their shield frequencies to counter our quantum field. Perfect, Kira replied, initiating what the engineering team had labeled Protocol Murphy's Law. Let's show them why trying to predict quantum uncertainty only makes it worse. The ecosphere's quantum core pulsed with energy that made local spacetime shiver. Suddenly, every attempt by the alien fleet to track their position actually increased the ship's quantum uncertainty field. Their targeting computers, trying to compensate for multiple probability states, began to cascade into systemic failures. Captain, Arya reported, detecting power fluctuations in the enemy's forward squadron. Their attempts to adapt to our quantum field are overloading their conventional systems. Kira nodded, watching as confusion spread through the alien formation. You know what humanity's greatest breakthrough in quantum mechanics was, Arya? It wasn't the technology. She executed a maneuver that briefly caused the ecosphere to exist in every possible tactical position simultaneously. It was accepting that sometimes, the best way to win is to make winning itself uncertain. The alien fleet's precise formation began to dissolve as ships attempted to track a target that treated physical laws as polite suggestions. Their weapons, designed to hit things that existed in definite positions, proved useless against a vessel that could choose to exist everywhere or nowhere at any given moment. Enemy vessels attempting to establish a containment pattern, Arya observed. They're trying to trap us in a conventional space-time bubble. How adorable, Kira replied, activating the quantum cascade initiator. Show them why trying to trap quantum uncertainty is like trying to nail Jell-O to a cloud. The ecosphere's quantum field expanded exponentially, creating a sphere of probability distortion that turned the local space into a maze of quantum possibilities. 3 alien cruisers, caught in the effect, found their own positions becoming uncertain. Their crews watched in horror as their ships began to exist in multiple states simultaneously. A rather poetic outcome, Arya commented. They're experiencing firsthand why quantum mechanics should never be weaponized. Unless, Kira added, executing another impossible maneuver, you really know what you're doing. She opened a channel to the increasingly desperate alien fleet. Attention Void Confederation vessels. You're currently experiencing what we call a quantum uncertainty cascade. Don't worry. The existential crisis is completely normal. Side effects may include questioning everything you thought you knew about reality. High Commander Nexus's response came through filled with static and quantum distortion. What are you? This defies all known laws of physics. That's humanity's specialty, Kira replied, watching as more alien ships struggled with the quantum cascade effect. We see laws of physics more as guidelines, really, especially when someone tells us something's impossible. The battle had transformed from a conventional space engagement into something that resembled a dance through probability itself. The ecosphere moved like a quantum ghost through the alien formation, each movement creating ripples of uncertainty that turned their superior numbers into a liability. Captain, Arya announced, detecting massive power signatures from the enemy flagship. They appear to be preparing some form of quantum containment burst. Kira's eyes narrowed as she studied the readings. So they want to play with quantum mechanics too? Arya, initialize Protocol Pandora. Let's show them why humans are the undisputed champions of making bad situations worse. The ecosphere's quantum core began to pulse with a different rhythm, preparing for what might be either their greatest triumph or their most spectacular miscalculation. But as any quantum physicist could tell you, sometimes the only way to win was to make victory and defeat exist in superposition until reality itself had to pick a side. And if there was one thing humans excelled at, it was stacking the odds in their favor, even when those odds involved rewriting the fundamental laws of the universe. Quantum containment burst detected, Arya announced as a wave of energy erupted from the alien flagship, designed to force all quantum states into a single reality. They're attempting to collapse our probability field. Kira's response was not what the aliens expected. She laughed. Arya, initiate Protocol Pandemonium. Let's show them why forcing quantum certainty is like trying to herd cats using mathematics. The ecosphere's quantum core shifted into what the engineering team had dubbed chaos configuration. Instead of resisting the containment burst, the ship's systems embraced it, using the energy to multiply their quantum uncertainty exponentially. You know what's fascinating about quantum mechanics? Kira broadcast to the alien fleet as the ecosphere began to exist in an impossible number of probability states simultaneously. The more you try to pin down exactly where something is, the less certain you can be about where it's going. The containment burst, designed to force quantum probability into conventional physics, instead created a cascade effect that spread through the alien formation. Ships that had been confidently tracking their target suddenly found themselves unsure not just of the ecosphere's position, but of their own. Status report, Kira called out as reality around them began to resemble an abstract painting of possibility. Enemy fleet experiencing severe quantum entanglement effects, Arya reported. Their attempt to force quantum certainty has backfired rather spectacularly. 73 vessels now exist in probabilistic states themselves. The alien formation, once a masterpiece of military precision, had devolved into chaos. Ships tried to maintain position while existing in multiple probable locations, their crews struggling with the fundamental uncertainty of their own existence. Fascinating adaptation to their attack, Arya noted. Though I feel compelled to point out that we're approaching previously untested levels of quantum uncertainty. That's the best part, Kira replied, her fingers dancing across the quantum interface. Initiate Protocol Wonderland. Let's really give them something to think about. The ecosphere's quantum field pulsed with new patterns, creating what appeared to be a localized bubble of alternative physics. Inside this space, probability itself became fluid, turning the battlefield into a realm where conventional cause and effect were more like polite suggestions. High Commander Nexus's voice crackled across the quantum frequencies, now tinged with both awe and horror. What have you done? The fabric of space itself is becoming unstable. Oh, that's not instability, Kira responded cheerfully, guiding the ecosphere through maneuvers that shouldn't have been possible in any rational universe. That's just reality adjusting to the fact that humans have been playing with quantum mechanics. Think of it as the universe having an existential crisis. To demonstrate her point, she activated what the development team had labeled the reality hiccup protocol. Suddenly, the space around the alien fleet began experiencing temporal probability fluctuations. Ships found themselves simultaneously engaging in past, present, and possible future states. Enemy fleet showing signs of systemic confusion, Arya reported. Their tactical computers are attempting to compensate for temporal uncertainty. Results are entertaining. Kira watched as alien vessels tried to coordinate attacks across probability states that might or might not exist. You know what humanity's greatest strength is, Arya? It's not our technology or our determination, though those help. It's our ability to look at something supposedly impossible and say, "Hold my coffee." The battle had transformed into something that defied conventional description. The ecosphere danced through quantum states like a ghost through walls, each movement creating ripples of possibility that turned the alien fleet's superior numbers into a mathematical nightmare. "Captain," Arya announced, detecting unusual energy signatures from multiple enemy vessels. They appear to be attempting to synchronize their quantum states to create a unified probability field. Now that's interesting, Kira mused, studying the readings. They're learning. Arya, initiate protocol paradox. Let's show them why quantum synchronization only works if everyone agrees on which reality they're in. The ecosphere's quantum core shifted again, this time creating what appeared to be a localized zone of probability interference. As the alien ships attempted to synchronize their quantum states, they found themselves instead becoming entangled in ways their systems were never designed to handle. "You have to admire their adaptability," Kira commented, watching as the alien fleet struggled with their own quantum entanglement. "Most species would have run away screaming by now." "Indeed," Arya agreed, though their persistence does raise the question of how far we can push quantum probability before reality itself objects. "That's the beauty of it," Kira replied, initiating another impossible maneuver. "Reality's rules are more like guidelines anyway, and nobody's better at bending guidelines than humans." The battle had become less about conventional warfare and more about who could better manipulate the fundamental forces of the universe. The alien fleet, despite their superior numbers and technology, found themselves increasingly trapped in a game where the rules themselves were uncertain. "Warning," Arya announced, detecting massive power buildup in the enemy flagship. They appear to be preparing something unprecedented. Kira's eyes narrowed as she studied the readings. "Looks like they're done playing by the rules entirely." "Good." Her smile turned predatory. "Arya, prepare Protocol Omega. If they want to see what happens when you push quantum mechanics to its absolute limits, who are we to disappoint them?" The ecosphere's quantum core began to pulse with new patterns, preparing for what might be either their greatest triumph or the universe's most spectacular physics experiment. But as any quantum physicist would tell you, sometimes the only way forward was to make forward itself a matter of probability. The alien flagship's power signature reached levels that made the quantum sensors scream in protest. A sphere of pure probability manipulation, far more advanced than anything the Void Confederation had shown before, began to form around their fleet. "Analysis," Kira commanded, watching as reality itself seemed to bend around the alien formation. "They're attempting to create a quantum nullification field," Arya reported. "If successful, it would force all quantum states within its radius to collapse into a single, predetermined reality. Our quantum advantages would be temporarily inconvenient." Kira's eyes narrowed. Temporarily inconvenient? That's practically a challenge. She activated the ship's emergency quantum protocols. "Arya, initiate Operation Impossible. Authorization code, Murphy's Revenge." Warning signals flashed across every display as the ecosphere's quantum core began to reconfigure itself in ways that made several fundamental laws of physics file formal protests. The ship's development team had specifically labeled this protocol with "Do not use unless reality itself is negotiable." "Captain," Arya's voice carried a note of what might have been concern, Operation Impossible has never been tested outside simulation. The potential consequences of are exactly what we need right now, Kira finished. She opened a channel to the alien fleet. Attention High Commander Nexus. I see your quantum nullification field, and I raise you what we like to call aggressive reality negotiation. The ecosphere's quantum core pulsed with energy patterns that shouldn't have been possible in any rational universe. Instead of fighting against the nullification field, they were about to do something far more reckless. They were going to embrace it. You know what happens when you try to force quantum uncertainty into certainty? Kira broadcast as the ecosphere systems reached critical levels. You create a paradox, and nobody deals with paradoxes quite like humans. The ship's quantum field began to resonate with the nullification wave, creating interference patterns that made space-time itself shudder. Where the two fields met, reality became less of a constant and more of a suggestion. Enemy fleet experiencing widespread quantum destabilization, Arya reported. Their attempt to force quantum certainty is creating a cascade of probability failures. Fascinating. Their own defensive measures are becoming a liability. The alien ships, caught in the intersection of two impossible quantum states, began to experience what the development team had theoretically termed reality friction. Their advanced technology, designed to impose order on quantum chaos, found itself trying to process contradictory states of existence. Status of Operation Impossible? Kira asked, watching as the battle transformed into something beyond conventional physics. Current reality coherence at 47% and dropping, Arya responded. We are successfully maintaining quantum uncertainty despite their nullification field. However, local spacetime stability is becoming creative. Around them, the void of space had become a canvas for quantum impossibilities. Ships existed in multiple states simultaneously. Weapon fire both hit and missed targets that might or might not have been there, and causality itself seemed to be taking a coffee break. You know what humanity's greatest discovery about quantum mechanics was? Kira broadcast to the increasingly desperate alien fleet. It wasn't how to control it. It was learning to ride the chaos. High Commander Nexus's response came through distorted, as if reality itself couldn't quite decide which version of the transmission to deliver. This is madness. You'll tear apart the very fabric of space. Correction, Kira replied, her fingers dancing across the quantum interface. We're not tearing it apart. We're teaching it new dance moves. Arya, initiate final phase of Operation Impossible. Let's show them why humans are banned from most physics conventions. The ecosphere's quantum core reached levels that made theoretical physics throw up its hands in defeat. Instead of trying to maintain a stable state within the nullification field, they were about to do something that only humans would consider a viable strategy. They were going to weaponize the uncertainty itself. Warning, Arya announced, quantum coherence approaching critical levels. Reality stability in local space dropping below recommended safe levels. Define safe levels, Kira asked, though her grin suggested she already knew the answer. By current mathematical models? We passed those approximately 3 impossibilities ago. We are now operating in what theoretical physicists refer to as the hold-my-beer zone of quantum mechanics. The battle had evolved beyond conventional warfare into something that defied description in any known language. The ecosphere, surrounded by an alien fleet trying to impose quantum certainty, had become a focal point of controlled chaos that threatened to rewrite the local laws of physics. Final warning, Void Confederation, Kira broadcast. What you're about to witness is why humans aren't allowed to play with quantum mechanics unsupervised. Arya, execute Protocol Pandora's Last Dance. The quantum core pulsed one final time, and reality itself held its breath, waiting to see what impossibilities humanity would unleash upon those who thought they could contain quantum uncertainty. The true test wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about proving that sometimes the best way to win was to change the very rules of the game. And humans, as the universe was about to be reminded, had always excelled at breaking rules in spectacular fashion. Protocol Pandora's Last Dance initiated with what could only be described as reality's surrender to human ingenuity. The ecosphere's quantum core reached a state that theoretical physicists had only joked about after too many late-night coffee sessions. Quantum coherence at maximum uncertainty, Arya reported, her voice carrying harmonics that shouldn't have been possible. We are now existing in what can only be described as a superposition of all possible tactical outcomes simultaneously. The space around them transformed into a kaleidoscope of probability, where the laws of physics became more like polite suggestions. The alien fleet's nullification field, designed to impose order on quantum chaos, instead became a catalyst for something unprecedented. You know what's funny about quantum mechanics? Kira broadcast to the increasingly destabilized alien fleet. The more you try to force certainty, the more spectacularly uncertainty fights back. Arya, show them why. The ecosphere began to resonate with possibilities that shouldn't have existed. Each quantum pulse created ripples through reality that turned the alien fleet's formation into a probability nightmare. Ships found themselves existing in states that their tactical computers couldn't process, simultaneously advancing and retreating, firing and holding, existing and not existing. High Commander Nexus's voice cut through the quantum chaos, now tinged with something approaching awe. What have you done? This defies all known laws of physics. That's humanity's specialty, Kira replied, watching as the alien fleet's carefully coordinated attack dissolved into quantum confusion. We don't just break the rules, we rewrite them. Arya, execute final phase. The ecosphere's quantum field expanded one last time, creating what the development team had theoretically termed a probability cascade. Every attempt by the alien fleet to impose order on the quantum chaos only amplified the effect, turning their own technology against them. Enemy fleet experiencing critical quantum destabilization, Arya reported. Their attempts to maintain coherent existence within normal spacetime are failing rather spectacularly. The void around them had become a theater of impossible physics. Alien vessels, caught in the probability cascade, began to phase between states of existence. Their mighty weapons, designed to shatter planets, proved useless against an enemy that treated reality itself as a suggestion. Attention Void Confederation, Kira broadcast, her voice carrying the weight of certainty through the quantum chaos. What you're witnessing is humanity's answer to those who think superior numbers and technology guarantee victory. We don't just adapt to impossible situations, we make the impossible adapt to us. The alien flagship, still struggling to maintain its nullification field, began to experience what Arya termed quantum feedback. Their attempt to force reality to behave had instead created a loop of probability that threatened to unravel their entire fleet's coherence. Your species, High Commander Nexus transmitted, his voice fluctuating between states of existence, was deemed too dangerous to exist because of exactly this. You don't just bend reality, you break it. Correction, Kira replied, initiating the final sequence. We don't break reality. We expand its possibilities. Arya, show them why humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology, it's our imagination. The ecosphere's quantum core pulsed one final time, creating a cascade of probability that turned the battlefield into a symphony of impossibility. The alien fleet, caught between states of existence, faced a choice that would define their civilization's future. Enemy fleet's quantum coherence failing, Arya announced. They must either retreat or risk permanent probability destabilization. High Commander Nexus's final transmission came through clear, despite the quantum chaos surrounding them. We came to prevent you from threatening the stability of space itself. Instead, you've shown us why such power exists in the first place. Humanity doesn't just survive the impossible, you thrive on it. The alien fleet, what remained of it in conventional reality, began to withdraw. Their mighty Armada, sent to prevent humanity from pushing the boundaries of quantum physics, retreated before a single ship that had proven those boundaries were meant to be pushed. Sometimes, Kira broadcast as the alien ships disappeared into fold space. The best way to protect reality is to show it new possibilities. Remember that the next time you think about challenging humanity's right to explore those possibilities. As the quantum chaos settled and reality reasserted its more conventional rules, Arya's voice carried a note of what might have been pride. Captain, shall I prepare our report for Earth Command? I suspect successfully defended humanity through aggressive reality negotiation might require some explanation. Kira laughed, watching the last traces of the alien fleet vanish into the distance. Tell them the truth, Arya. Tell them humanity just proved why we're the species that looks at the impossible and says, "Watch this." She paused, considering. Also, mention that we might need to revise some laws of physics. They were getting a bit outdated anyway. The ecosphere's quantum core slowly powered down, its impossible energies settling into more conventional patterns. But the legacy of this battle would echo through the cosmos, a reminder that humanity's greatest weapon had never been their technology or their numbers, but their unshakable belief that impossible was just another word for hasn't been done yet. In the vast darkness of space, a single human ship had not just defended Earth. It had demonstrated why humanity's approach to the impossible had made them both feared and respected throughout the galaxy. As Kira often said, it wasn't about breaking the rules of reality. It was about convincing reality that the rules needed an update. And humanity, as always, was happy to help with the revision process.